Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Long Island Podfather. This is the one you have all been waiting for because, as by popular demand, we have the man himself right here in the
Gerry
first
Ferretti.
guest chair.
Gerry, oh, me?
You.
Oh, me.
It's
Sean.
you.
Sean Patrick Macgilvray.
Back up here. We have one camera, so we had to cut to the close-up of just me, which is fine.
His equipment is failing. His equipment is failing.
Hey, this is tough, you know.
It is.
I'm wearing all these different hats. Producer.
That's a hat?
It's a hat. It's like,
that explains
it's like
a lot.
earmuffs.
Yes, Mickey
It's
Mouse.
really
Mickey
my hair.
Mouse.
It's a hat.
It's a hat. It's a hair hat.
Now, will I ever do the wig thing?
Like this gentleman?
Yeah, they make fun of this guy's wig all the time.
I never make fun of it.
No.
I'd rather see that than the bald top of his head.
That's right.
Right?
For some reason, Shatner was always made fun of for wearing a wig. Meanwhile, half of Hollywood has worn wigs. People don't even realize it.
The one that got me was from Cheers. What was his name? Sam?
Ted Danson?
Ted Danson. Through that whole show, I never knew. Did you know that?
I had heard it, but I didn't know.
At the end, after it was done, I was mad. Like they fooled me. How could you fool me?
Right.
Fool me. Go in there with your bald head, damn it.
Right. I mean, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Another
Never
one.
knew that one either.
From the beginning of James Bond.
Nicer look, I guess, though, right?
Yeah.
Having a full head of hair.
And now
compared to these hairy palms. How does this happen, Gerry?
And now nothing's real.
Hair's not real. Body parts are fabricated.
Right.
That's the right word.
Now, how do you feel? And don't say with your hands. How do you feel about women and plastic surgery and Botox and injections and, you know, like now we live in an era where you look at people's pictures and nothing's real. It's all filtered. It's all, you know.
You got to look at it this way. Which is cheaper, Botox or divorce? Go with the cheaper one.
You're gonna get yourself in trouble.
Oh man, I had to think about it. That's why I was talking a little slow on that one. Should I continue? But Gerry said it's okay to say anything. He'll protect me.
Look at the microphone's going down. It's like
the microphone needs a Viagra as well as these two gentlemen sitting right here.
Hey,
but we don't need it now.
No. Well, what does that mean?
Well, at this moment.
What does that mean?
What are we gonna do if you're sitting here with an erection?
Well, but we do need it, is what you're meaning.
Yeah, but not at this moment.
I hope you don't mean that you don't need it. I don't want.
I'm willing to experiment.
Let's leave that one alone. Let's just leave it alone. There's children listening.
Yes.
Where were we?
I was talking
body parts.
Yeah, body parts.
Right. I talk about women and body parts. You go right to men and body parts.
Well, I like a good breast enlargement. I think that's enjoyable to gander at. And some people say that when they lay down, they flatten out. When they get up, it takes a little while for them to come back to shape. And all I say to that is, I got all the time in the world.
When you think about it, like some people say, I don't like when women do that because I don't like how they feel. Considering that 99.9999% of them in the world you're never going to touch.
No, right.
So what the hell difference does it make? If you like looking at it, let them knock themselves out.
Well, you could tell when you see them in a dance club, you know, from what I read in magazines, this is that when they're big and fake like that, they never squeeze them. They just kind of rub them on the sides like a watermelon. Yeah. There's never any honking going on because of that slow pace back. I'm going really big.
You sure you're not Italian?
Hey, forget about it. I get that a lot. People say all the time that I speak with my hands, like you Italian people. I think it's more of a New York thing.
Or nerves.
Or nerves. Could be nerves. Tapping the pen on the table. Touching my mouth. Touching your mouth.
You're always posting these humorous things on Facebook.
Right.
And what percentage of those are things that you've created out of your own head?
I get asked this question quite often. So a lot of my stuff is me. And then just like anybody else, you hear something good that deserves to be said again. And I would reuse them. And do you start off by writing, have you heard this one yet? Like what makes it plagiarism and what makes it sharing a great joke?
Right.
jokes just change with the times and current events. I try to stay current. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're reading Google News, you read something, you go, oh, I gotta take this piece of this and run with it.
Right.
But during the day, I'll jot things down, or at night, I'll even sit up and just put it in my phone. So because when I wake up in the morning, that thought is gone. So sometimes just walking from one room to the other, I have no idea why I'm in the kitchen. So I bought memory foam slippers. How are you on the memory foam beds? I find them quite hot. I forgot. I find them very warm. The heat builds up in them, and your dent stays there, and you're trying to roll over, and you can't get out of your dent.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'd like a memory foam. Would you have the bed, or do you have like the topper?
I have the mattress.
The mattress, yeah. No, I don't.
And when you go bed shopping, it's mostly these foam things now.
Yeah,
because they're easier to move. They can roll them up and suck the air out and ship it to you.
Right. You
compared
get a
giant
box that's like.
And when you cut that bag open, run.
Yep.
Because
it seems like beds should have springs. Like,
they should.
It's hard to.
You want to hear squeaking.
It's very hard to adapt to new things when we get older. And sometimes when I criticize things of today, I have to stop myself and say, wait a minute. Am I just old? Is this
probably
better? And I'm just not adapting to it. Like, and it's funny with like music. Last night I'm watching this Michael Jackson concert and I'm going, this music is incredible. Now, growing up, you're not supposed to like Michael Jackson. It's like you're not supposed to like Barry Manilow when we were kids.
Electric Light Orchestra.
Certain things are just not supposed
right.
to
How
like.
Great was that music? And you're in your car and turn it up louder, but I got to put the windows up so nobody hears me listening to it.
When you like something that people aren't supposed to like sitting here with you.
Right. No, not too many people like doing this.
Right. But I'm getting bold like that now.
Good.
I'm gonna.
You're much better.
Yeah.
We used to pick on each other over the phone. Now we get to do it side by side.
Right. And see, that's what our podcasts are supposed to do. Whenever I do my podcast, I always like to leave with a little positivity.
Positive note. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Try new things as you get older. Things you were afraid of when you were younger, or somebody might laugh at you or be too embarrassed. Go give it a try. The worst thing that can happen. Am I tapping again?
I'm going to take your pen away.
This is just in case I need to hit you. Go for it, because you know life is could be cut short at any time.
Yep. You know, people post things on Facebook and say, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, condolences," and you know when you say congratulations to somebody on Facebook, it gives you little balloons.
Right.
When you put condolences, I'm always expecting
like a little tombstone to pop up. I don't think there's. No, erase that.
I wasn't thinking a tombstone. I was thinking maybe like flowers or something.
Or a ghost comes up.
A tombstone would...
No, don't.
It would lighten the mood.
It would lighten the mood for everybody but the poor family, I think.
Right.
But yeah, you always want to know. And why do you want to know? Is it just human nature to know? Maybe if it's something that I could prevent happening to me or a loved one, or pass that information on.
Right.
So somebody's aware not to take this with that, or whatever it may be. I don't know. Is there a rule to that asking?
I don't know. But when I die, if anybody asks, tell them.
Can I make it up?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to have some good stuff. He was hit by a UFO. William Shatner came over and choked him to death with his toupee.
Do you ever think about just that random death? Like there was a story a few years ago.
On that note, I've seen myself choking the life out of you several times in my life.
That's not random. That's been something you've been thinking about for a long time.
Well, it comes and goes.
True. I mean,
usually when you talk to me, I get the feeling.
If you did it,
I'm sure I'm not the only one.
I wouldn't be surprised. So, like, I'm half thinking it's going to happen at any moment. But
today's the day, people.
A guy was jogging down the boardwalk in Florida a few years ago, and there was an airplane crashed into him. A guy was flying a remote control airplane, lost control of it. It flew down, smacked the guy right in the back of the head when he was jogging.
Wow.
Killed him instantly. Now, that's just like not the way I want to go.
And that's when your insurance company says, yeah, we don't cover that. It's not in your policy. Getting hit in the head with a model plane.
That guy was home going, should I go for a jog?
Or am I going to get hit in the head with a plane?
Should I be lazy and just say, I'll throw on a TV and screw it, I'll jog tomorrow.
Die of a heart attack.
And he made the decision to do the healthy, good exercise thing. He got hit by a remote control plane and died.
And that's not the only one. I've heard of it at a football stadium where they lost control of it and it crashed into the crowd and killed the lady sitting in the football game.
Yeah, a tire that bounces off a car and kills someone.
Yeah. You can see all these on TikTok and Facebook. Unfortunately, they're up for a short time before decent people take it down.
You're a mad TikTok poster, and most of your things are disturbingly humorous. Not most, but a lot of them are where head shakers.
Well, you have said to me, you're getting lazy with your comedy. You're just throwing TikTok things up there.
True.
But what I do is I do the work for the people. I go through thousands and thousands of TikToks, and I pick the ones out that I find to be the best and save you the time of sitting there like I did, looking through all these half-assed videos,
right,
and give you the best that I can give you.
And every once in a while, there's a nice one.
Because I do have a heart.
Yeah.
And we're going percentages earlier. 1% is still good. Right, kind of like the Grinch, right?
Right.
Kiki, 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 kiki. That's a little part of my heart still there.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is all covered in darkness and dread. How does 1 cup of coffee turn into 5 gallons of urine? In the morning, I have a cup of coffee, and then driving here to your place, I had to pull over more than once to set it free.
All right, let me think. Now, when you drink the coffee, you're aware of the actual volume because you have a container.
Right.
When you release it, it's just a stream into a giant vat.
So maybe I should piss into the same.
Yes. You may
cup
be surprised
that it'll end up being the same.
It might be.
What I do know is I'll never use that cup again. That I know.
No one else will either.
I'll just put Gerry's cup.
It's like they say that at McDonald's, like large fries and small fries aren't really any different. It's just a different container.
And the size of the drinks.
It's all a trick.
The size of the drinks are always.
So because you're peeing in a giant cup called the toilet or on the side of the road out in the world,
the giant
you're
world.
Not aware that, you think that it's a long amount, but it might just be.
I'm going to have to try that now.
Yeah, I think we have to do an experiment.
You have a cup?
No, I don't have any cups in this house.
No cups for Sean.
This one. And it's an Italian cup.
We can't use that one.
It doesn't hold Irish piss.
It'll burn right through the bottom.
Now, how about alcohol? Does that turn into more urine or less?
Oh, more. And it all depends on what you're drinking. Beers go in, beers come out. So you learn that living in the city, and you might have to take the subway or a bus to get home. And the guys say, do you want to go to the bar for a beer? At 57, 6 years old, you have to say, will I be able to make it home?
Right.
So I've learned to, if I do choose to go with the guys, I switch to mixed drinks.
You don't drink anymore?
I don't drink anymore. I don't drink any less. Friday nights is probably my night usually. Sit at home.
Drink till Sunday?
My wife would like me to make it full-time nothing. But I said, I'm down to 1 night a week. All you do is hurt yourself. And you're miserable Saturday morning.
Wise woman.
Wise. Yeah, because she's the one I'm miserable to.
I can only.
And I don't mean it. I don't mean it.
He loves you. He posts it on Facebook all the time. And if there's any gauge of a happy marriage,
yes,
it's Facebook.
This 6'2" today, homeless, looking with the winter beer on, is not afraid. This right. We only live for so long. You care about somebody, have feelings, love somebody. Tell the world. Let everybody know.
Mm-hmm. And you do.
I do.
But most of the Facebook, and I think yours is genuine. I've been in their company. I've been to the house. Not the last time because our signals got crossed.
Yes.
We're not going to go there here.
I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, you guys seem to have a happy relationship. And
we do.
She must be a very tolerant woman.
She is sent from God. She's an angel to put up with me.
Oh,
thank you very much. How did I do?
Pretty good.
Let me see you do it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't do those things.
I don't know. It's an alter ego of somebody, but I don't know. Not me.
Dar.
So now you have aspirations of being in film, or like what if you could snap your fingers right now and be an entertainer, would you? Or is this
Yes,
like a closet thing
I
that
would.
you
Classic thing. I would love to have a like a King of Queens show. Something to that. I like that idea. Everybody Loves Raymond, right? That comedy sitcom style.
right?
A lot of work, and I think it would be great. I would enjoy it, and that just comes from a taste of working with you and getting a feel for it.
I don't look at entertainers anymore as like this unattainable thing. I look at it as very difficult to attain because of the odds.
Every year, right? New actors and actresses graduate college.
Right.
And we see movies with the same people in them every year.
Yes.
Right? Robert De Niro, right? They're going to be propping his coffin up in front of the camera and still trying to use them.
I've thought about why not create a television show where we say we're going to pluck somebody out of obscurity, somebody who's not, and I know this might sound like, well, they didn't pay their dues, but don't take the stand-up comic from the comedy club. Don't take the person who's been doing it. Reach out for the person like you, let's say, who just put shit on Facebook and say, let's make a sitcom around this guy.
Around what he's.
Let's make him a star and show that we can turn anyone
I'm available
into a star like that.
Even this guy right here. We could do something with this guy.
Yeah. Because we're really in a world right now where nothing is real.
True.
So we can take anybody, no offense, but
I am a nobody.
Right.
You proved that.
I proved that on Nobody's in Cars Running Errands, which is a very funny episode. It was a fun series, and I want to go back and do it, but COVID's ruined it.
COVID's ruined it.
Can't take cameras and go someplace anymore. It's another example of the world just changing. And what I did with that, we had a camera. We walked into places. We walked around filming ourselves.
Nobody said no.
Batted an eye. At one place, I went into Michael's on one of the episodes, and they were like, "You can't come in here with this camera." And I was like, "Why not?" And he said, "Well, I don't know."
I don't know, but
so I said, "Can we just come in for like 5 minutes?" And he was like, "Yeah, go ahead." But he couldn't even come up with a viable argument.
Go ahead. I got nothing. I didn't read the rest of that paragraph in my manual.
But now, it would be masks alone would be a problem. Like last night, everybody had to wear masks at the theater.
I've been on the plane a few times recently. Have to wear the mask, right? You're in the airport, 6 foot distance. But then you get on the plane and they pack you in this close.
Right.
Where's the 6 foot? How come you're not leaving that middle seat? It all comes down to the Benjamins.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure fuel and everything is expensive as hell. But
imagine having the ability to solve any of your problems by just going into the back room and printing money. And that's basically what the government has done in the past couple of years. I like that idea. And could you imagine that?
Hold on, honey. Let me print out a couple of more $100 bills here before we go out for the night.
Like counterfeiting. I know it's probably a lot harder now, but 50 years ago, it must have been going on like this.
Oh, all the time, I would think, right?
Yeah.
It sounds easy, right?
Right.
And you just got to go someplace, use it, and keep moving before they realize where it came from. I do a lot of reading, and that's the way going at night, going to bars, giving your fake money out, getting change, and get the hell out.
Right.
Is the method that a lot of people used over the years.
And it was only 20s, right? Wasn't that the big?
Well, everybody looks at a $100 bill, a $50 bill. And recently I heard $5 bills were being counterfeited, right? The lower the denomination, maybe people aren't looking at them as closely.
Right. Like $1 has become useless. Does anybody?
Right. We got a change shortage.
Right.
Right. How is that happening?
We haven't eliminated the penny yet, though.
No.
But it's for all intents and purposes, it's gone.
Me personally, I've eliminated them. I don't want you change.
Right.
Right? Because it usually just falls out of my pants pocket into my car seat.
Like if you drop a penny, will you bend down to pick it up, assuming you can? What? You know what I mean? You told me once that you can't bend down to tie your shoes.
I did tell you. I didn't say I can't do it. I said when I do it, my face turns red and it looks like it's going to explode.
Right. So
that is what I said, smartass.
Along those lines, if you drop a penny, is it worth it? Would you pick it up?
I would have to, because my father grew up during the Depression. And when I was a kid, I threw some pennies and he grabbed me by my shirt and told me the story how he had to go down to the government house and stand on this long line of people to get government food, like everybody did during the Depression, walking along the train tracks with your little red flyer wagon, scooping up the coal that fell off the coal train so you could have heat for the house that night, things like that. So my daughter, when she was young, threw some pennies and I said, "Hey, come over here. Did I ever tell you?" And she said, "What are you going to tell me, that story about your dad?" And I said, "You little shit, get in the car." Damn it. So I think it stayed in my head. I think about it. And yeah, I feel very cheap doing it, but especially if it's face up and you think about, well, that's good luck. I should probably pick that up.
And it is a dirty thing. Like in this world of COVID,
right?
If, like we were talking about bowling shoes, if COVID could be spread through bowling shoes, I'm sure it could be spread through money.
Does everybody take their shoes off when they come home at the door? I bet you there's a lot of people that don't.
No,
right? We talked about Penn Station before. I wouldn't want anything on Penn Station's floor to be stuck on my shoe and come in my house.
I was standing in my kitchen the other day. I'd gotten out of the shower and I walked into the kitchen and I poured myself a cup of coffee. And my daughter came into the room and she was eating like a cookie or something and she dropped it. It bounced off my foot. And this is a true story. She went, "Ugh."
Was it your bare foot?
Yes. And I said,
sounds like my kids.
That foot is cleaner than your hand. It's cleaner than any other part of your body, especially right now, because I just came out of the shower and it was only the 6 feet from the bathroom to here. And it hit the top of my foot. You should not be going, "Ugh."
Eat that cookie.
Right.
Eat that cookie.
She ate the cookie.
She did?
Yeah.
Probably because it was the only one left.
Yeah.
It's the 5-second rule.
But it's the 5-second rule off of a foot. But a foot, even the word foot, it's kind of like gross.
My kids come over. I'll be laying on the couch and they sit down. And if I put my bare feet anywhere near them, they flip out.
Right.
Because they say, "Old man, your feet are so dry." My son said, "It looks like you stepped in wet concrete and let it dry on your feet." But this time of year in the wintertime, right, everything gets dry. It gets dry on my face, my hands.
Yeah.
Right? Get them moisturized. Get them moisturized.
We won't touch the foot, but we shake hands.
Well, shaking feet is a little difficult, especially with a bad knee.
True.
We do a foot tap, right? We do elbow taps. Right. You get the chicken wing.
Yeah. Now, how about like washing your, like I still see people that will go into a men's room and walk out without washing their hands.
Yes.
Now, COVID, we all got to stay away from each other, but I've primarily like lived that rule. You're a bit of a germaphobe too,
I
right?
am.
Yeah.
I've been practicing for years for something like this. All the years people broke my chops, made jokes. I was prepared for COVID. I've been waiting for this.
Right.
Not that I wished it upon anybody, God forbid, but all right. Now you're not laughing at me not touching the door handle or the menu or the ketchup bottle on the table. That's what I always ask for extra napkins because I got to wrap that ketchup bottle and get that ketchup.
And the other thing is when you go into the bathroom, they have the electronic paper towel dispenser. I want electronic toilet paper dispensers.
That would be nice.
Because when people are touching those dispensers, they are fresh out of doing what they had to do.
Been too close to the back door.
There's probably more bacteria on
especially if the roll is just sitting there where you have to stick 2 fingers in it and pick it up.
Right.
Now, that was, I'm like, holy shit, how am I getting out of here?
But let's take a pause so we can get things.
Yeah. I got to wet my whistle.
Yeah.